What's going on, everyone? Nick or Catalyst here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing well, and man, it has felt like an eternity since I've been able to say that, but in reality it's only been about a week, maybe a little bit over a week since I last posted anything, but I guess that just goes to show you how long of a week it's actually been for me. So I just thought that I'd take a second to make a video and talk about what's happened to me in the past week. Personally, even though I'm sure not that many people care, but you know, it's just going to explain why there's been a lack of upload and just a general lack of communication in general. If you guys are following me on Twitter, you already pretty much know what's happening, but essentially I was in a car accident over the weekend, last Friday to be exact, so that's my answer. If you guys are here just for the short, quick, easy story, you know, you could drop your like on the video now and head out here. You know what's happened to Catalyst. You know why he hasn't been active. But for those of you who are looking for a little bit more in-depth, not an excuse, but explanation as to why I've been gone, you should stick around. It's a very, very long and interesting story with a lot of plot twists and a lot of bullshit that just ended up happening to me. So I just wanted to openly talk about it, rant, get something out on the channel in general. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be today. I'm going to chop up the gameplay in the background, which, by the way, before I start with the story, just a rabbit trail. This gameplay that you're seeing right now, this was the first game that I played in 1 week, and I hopped on the game, and I don't know about you guys, but it felt awful. Like, it felt laggy, the hit detection felt really poor, it felt like everything was just kind of sluggish. It did not feel good. I'm wondering if you guys are feeling anything similar since the last patch update. I don't know if there's been one since I've been gone, but yeah, tell me what you guys are thinking about, and if the game is laggy or stuttery or whatever have you in the comment section below. Really interested to see and hear what you guys are feeling. But moving on, so not many people know, but I am a sports journalist, and I keep this pretty close to the chest because I'd like to keep my personal life and my gaming persona very, very split, just in case the fact that maybe one day I'll get somewhat famous in an alternative medium besides YouTube, and I don't want somebody, you know, to link two and two together, because things that I say on this channel, especially things that I've said in the past, can be taken definitely out of context, and it could definitely ruin or dampen my career if somebody were that malicious and had ill will against me. So that's why I don't talk about it very much. But I was traveling to an away football game to cover it for my news outlet, and I ended up getting in a car crash in Macon, Georgia. I'm fine. There's no damage to me except for my pride, but the car didn't do so well. It was just a fender bender, but the car had some interior damage that I didn't notice at the time. And, you know, I pulled over, me and the lady exchanged insurance information, called the police, you know, everything that you're supposed to do when you get into an accident. But we realized that my coolant fluid was leaking, and, you know, when I turned on my car and revved my engine, there was smoke coming from the hood. So that's obviously not something you want to see when you have another 3-hour drive, another, you know, 3 hours left in your drive to get to your destination. So it was a pretty interesting situation at that point anyways. But what really screwed me over was the fact that this occurred about 5 o'clock on a Friday, and after the police had been called, after I called AAA, after I called my insurance company, it was already 6 o'clock, 6:30, and all the body shops, all the mechanics had closed for the weekend. Same with all the rental car, I guess, dealerships? Is that what you call them? The rental car services, so Enterprise, Hertz, Avis, Budget, etc., etc. All of those were closed as well. So I was pretty much stuck in Georgia with nowhere to go except the final destination that at that point I didn't even know that I was going to get to. So basically the tow truck driver came, he take a look at my car, we dropped it off at a body shop, and we, you know, went to a hotel. We found me a hotel. He was actually super helpful because I didn't know the area, and I, you know, just pulled up my Google Maps and I pulled up a random hotel and I said, okay, this one has 4 stars, let's go to this one, it's gonna be fine. But he's like, no, you know what, dude, I'm gonna put you in a better part of town, and he took me to a Best Western that actually had an Enterprise just 3 blocks away. So, you know, that was kind of his little surprise. He was more than helpful, and that was really awesome. So I went to bed with the thought, okay, I'm gonna wake up as soon as I can tomorrow, I'm gonna go to the Enterprise, and I'm gonna get myself a rental car, and I'll be able to make it to Clemson in time. It was the Clemson game that I was trying to get to. So I said, okay, I'm going to get there in time. Everything's going to be okay. I wake up to the news tomorrow, or that next day, that the reservation that I had with the Enterprise got canceled. And so that reservation was actually with a different Enterprise in a different part of town, not the one next to me. So I walk over to the one next to me and I explain my situation. And before I can even really get myself going, the lady says, "I'm sorry, sir, we don't have any rental cars available. We're actually having to call people to tell them that we don't have cars available for them." And apparently there was some gay pride event in Atlanta during that weekend. And so all the rental cars in cities about maybe 100 miles outward in every single direction, their rental cars were pretty much all sold out. So I tried multiple Enterprises, I tried multiple rental cars, Hertz, a whole bunch of different places, and none of them had rental cars except for one place in an airport in the middle of nowhere. So I bring an Uber, I take an Uber to this tiny airport. You couldn't even call it an airport, in the armpit of Georgia. This thing was so deserted and so sketchy. I wasn't quite sure that I was in the right place until I saw the Avis sign indoors. So I go in there and I say my situation. I've been explaining my situation to everybody, and they have a car for me. So they start running my information, they start running my card, and for whatever reason, they wouldn't take my social security number. There was some disconnect with my card and my social security number, so I was basically sitting there for about 2.5 hours trying to get this to work, and the computer would literally not give me a rental car. So now not only do I not have a rental car at any other location, I couldn't even get a rental car at this location, and it's looking more and more like I'm not only going to be able to not make it to Clemson, but I'm not going to be able to make it for work either. So, after some phone calls were made, I decided to have family come get me. I had an aunt that lived about 2 hours away, so she came and got me, and we drove back, and it was a very discouraging event, but, it says, okay, we got everything settled, we're safe, and basically anytime you walk away from an accident alive, you should be thankful, but it was just a mounting pile of poor circumstances, and that pile of circumstances just amplified over the next couple of days. So Sunday, I hitch a ride with my boss. I get back home, which hitching a ride with your boss is got to be one of the more awkward things that I have had to do in my entire life. It's not like my boss is awkward at all. He's a very nice man. We had a really, solid conversation, but you kind of want to avoid taking a car trip with your boss, especially after you got in an accident coming to work for him. It's exactly how it sounds in that case. So we got home on Sunday. Monday morning, I called the body shop that had my car, and I basically said, hey, look, I was in an accident in Macon. My car is outside. Can you take a look at it and tell me what the estimate is going to be? Now, my car was a 2004 Infiniti G35. It's a 6-cylinder. It's got a lot of horsepower to it. It's an absolute tank as well, 17 miles per gallon, and it's got a really, really thick body. But it was still a fantastic car. It had over 200,000 miles on it. It had done me well for a long time. It was priced, I checked Kelley Blue Book because, I wasn't sure how much money I was willing to pour into this thing. My car was priced anywhere from around $750 to $1,250, which is about what I was expecting. The cost that it would have taken to fix my car was $8,000. So that's an immediate nope. We're just going to completely scrap this thing, total the car, and see if we can sell it. The body shop itself didn't want it, so I made some calls to a local salvage yard in the area, and they said that they were going to send somebody out that Tuesday morning to take a look at it, and they would call me and tell me if they were looking to purchase the car, which they didn't. They didn't end up calling me until Wednesday, but by that time I had already reached out to a third-party contractor to purchase the car, and we already had a deal in place. And at that time, my mother had already driven up on Tuesday, so we were going to Macon to sell the car, get all my personal items, sign over the title, and make sure that my personal belongings were out of the car. On Wednesday morning, as I already said, I got a call from that salvage yard saying, hey, we'll give you $200. Well, the original deal that I made with this third-party contractor was for $150, so I'm like, okay, sweet. There's 50 more bucks in my pocket, and I'm selling it locally instead of selling it to a national service. This is going to be a lot easier on me. It's going to be a lot easier on a lot of people. Let's do it. I call and I cancel the reservation and the offer that I had with the other company, and they weren't necessarily happy about it, and we decided to drive to Macon for the day. Once we got to Macon and we got to the body shop, I said, hey, I'm here to sell my car to Peacock, which was the salvage company, and they should be here at 1 o'clock. Do you have the car? They didn't have the car, guys. They did not have the car. They said that somebody came in at 9 o'clock in the morning and picked up the car without my authorization and without my authority, and they gave the body shop a check for $150, which that check was supposed to be for me. So not only did this company, which I'm not going to name for purposes, not only did they not honor the cancellation of the selling to them, but they came and they picked it up anyway without my authority and tried to scam the body shop as well. So now my car was potentially being stolen. So the body shop bent over backwards to try and get me my car back. Where's the car? They found it, and I was able to go and get everything out of my car in time. But it was just a mounting pile of BS that I never thought I would have had to go through for just a simple fender bender. You know, the matter of the fact that, hey, if my accident happened a couple hours earlier, I probably could have gotten a mechanic and I might have gotten a rental car. The fact of the matter that, you know, my accident was 3 hours into a 6-hour drive, so it's not exactly like I could go back home or I could just travel and withstand the journey to go to Clemson. The fact of the matter that it was a gay pride weekend in Atlanta that just so happened to be that weekend, and there were no rental cars after Saturday morning. You know, just a mounting pile of circumstances that was really, really tough. So we sold the car. Everything was okay. We made our way back to Florida, and everything was seemingly okay. So that's basically the story of the car. I have a new car now. I went to the dealership, purchased a new one. I'm very, very happy with it, but something else developed in my life as well. I potentially had a job offer with Sports Illustrated. Now, Sports Illustrated was sold to a company called The Maven about a couple of weeks ago, and they were looking to hire me to work as Sports Illustrated writing staff, and I was obviously super freaked out and excited about it, but I went to the meeting last night, and basically what they were pitching was a content mill, and I don't agree with that at all. Instead of, you know, making reasonable, entertaining content, they wanted me to post 2 to 3 stories a day. They wanted 2 to 3 pieces of content, and they didn't really care how I got it. They wanted me to focus on media, however. But essentially, the way that they were going to do it is they wanted me and my business partner to create a business with a sub-site and register as an LLC, which essentially meant that any legal or copyright issues that I would obtain in my writing, and, you know, sometimes it does happen. Sometimes you miss a payment. Sometimes you steal a photo, or not steal a photo, but you take a photo that you think is paid for, and, you know, you take the wrong photo. Like, stuff happens is essentially what I'm saying. Basically, any of those instances that would happen, the Maven company would have not have been responsible for it. It would have all fallen on me and my coworkers' shoulders, and I wasn't exactly really happy with that. And also, you know, there would have been no insurances, no benefits for me. You know, they wouldn't even pay for my travel to travel with the team and cover it. So it was a very unfortunate, you know, circumstance. I was super excited about it. I told a lot of people about it because obviously, for those of you who know sports, you see Sports Illustrated, and that's a gigantic popular brand, and so you think, wow, that would be a really great job to have, but the company that took it over is pretty much seeming to run it into the ground. You know, there was rumors of financial insecurity, and that wasn't exactly very, very forth-putting, you know, when they came to me, my business partner, about working for them. But that's basically what's been happening to me over the past week. I guess in the positive era, I'm alive, you know. I have no body damage to me. I was able to get a new car instead of driving the gas-guzzling tank that almost killed me a couple times. It's unfortunate for me that I didn't get the job that would have been, or at least it seemed to be, life-changing at the time, but really, once, you know, I had the meeting and I did some research on the job, I realized that these guys were basically running a glorified pyramid scheme with Sports Illustrated, and I wasn't interested in that, and I don't want to sacrifice my brand as a writer personally. You know, Nick the person, not Catalyst, the Battlefield 5 player. I didn't want to sacrifice that on a job that probably could have potentially put my name on a blacklist. So I guess that's everything, and that's basically why I haven't been playing. That's why I haven't been streaming, posting on social media all that much, and it's why I've been gone in general. Thank you all so much for supporting me and being here. I actually just saw some statistics the other day. Around this time last year, we hadn't even hit, you know, 1,000 subscribers, and 1 year later, we're almost at 3,100 and counting and going strong. Pacific is coming out for Battlefield 5 very, very soon, so I'm pretty excited about it. We're going to be having a couple of nice videos coming out too. A montage that's going to be edited by Neon. Once I get working on that and getting some clips, that's going to be awesome. I'm really excited to show you guys that. And, you know, I'm just really happy that I have you all to vent to and that you guys support me, and I basically have a wonderful community, the Cat Pack. I'm really thankful for you all. And I really hope that you all are doing well in your personal lives. You know, this is not just a content creator subscriber basis. I mean, I really consider us all a family. So thank you also for listening to my ramble, my rant. You know, that's what's been going on with me. Videos will resume as normal, which normal doesn't really mean that I have a schedule. It's just meaning that I'm going to get them out when I get them out. But videos are going to be coming again. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on post notifications. Look at my socials and join them. All that stuff is in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Nick or Catalyst, and I will see you all another time.